Merry Christmas. If you are accustomed to going to church on Christmas Eve, then you know the story, the ancient, old, wonderful, profound story of that young woman riding on a donkey to that small manger surrounded by cows and donkeys and chickens, birthing God incarnate, birthing Christ, birthing Jesus into the world. You've heard the story from years and years. It's been passed along generation to generation. Yet there's a character within the story that I don't think we give enough emphasis to. The role of Jesus' mother, Mary. Maybe it's because of the season of life that I'm in, as I sit here 40 weeks pregnant, expecting our next child, that the words of Mary, the life of Mary, resonates so deeply within my soul that I believe there's more to Mary than that silly song we sing, "Oh, Mary, did you know?" Mary knew. And there's this passage within the gospel narrative of Luke. It's early on in Mary's pregnancy. She goes to visit her relative who is also expecting a child. And these words are attributed to Mary as this poetic Magnificat, as her singing praises to God for all who God is. And I want to read this passage to you because I believe there's so much we can glean from Mary. And Mary said, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked with favor on the lowliness of his servant. Surely from now on all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me." God could have chose any way to come into the world. Yet in this ancient patriarchal run world with rulers and kings and masters, God chose to come into the world through the womb of a young, marginalized, Jewish, unwed girl. And that in itself should speak to the truth and the reality of who God is and the type of relationship that God desires with all of humanity. Because there's all these images that go around of who God is, the type of power God has, that God is Lord or Master or Father. But my favorite image, especially in this season of my life, is the image of God as an expectant mother with an unborn child. That the two are actually one. That there is this equal influence happening between the two. That just as much as this unborn child is influencing my body physically, hormonally, mentally, that I also have great influence upon this child's life in my own physical well-being, in my own spiritual and mental well-being. But that I don't have direct power over this child. I have dreams for this child, but nothing that is concrete. I believe that's the Christmas story. I believe the Christmas story is that God chose to come into the world through love, through an image of love that we are still trying to grasp and understand. That God chose to be gentle and humble as the most fragile, dependent version of a human being. That God desires this type of relationship with us. That God would call us co-creators and influencers of light in the world alongside this grand creation from the Creator. I believe that is the Christmas story. From all of us here at Between, Merry Christmas. May you go into the rest of your holiday season with God's love, knowing you get to create the sacred church, the space between you and everyone you meet.